Quick things, real quick. I heard a couple of things today. Kind of got me laughing a little bit. They had the little debate they had last weekend with Sonetta doing a debate with Harry and also Polite. It was alright. It was alright. But for the most part, I was interested in some of the conversations I was seeing, especially on the streets. A lot of crazy stuff went on. We had Garfield out there, man, trying to basically rep some things dealing with the text and just real sloppy with it, try to beat up on one of the guys out there. You know, I'm making my way up there. I'm making my way up there to the New York. Get up with Sal. Give him some of that St. Louis country grammar, and let them know, how we get it in down here, because we got brothers that deal with that, can get it in, that deal with the history and the science. I seen how Garfield tried to beat up on the brother, man, and you know, it's not gonna work, man. It won't work with one of these brothers that actually know this book and dealing with the science and the information. You know, so I seen it, and I was just looking at it, and I was like, oh man, and I said to myself, I said, this summertime, it's on and popping. As soon as it get hot outside, you know, I will be up there in New York. And a lot of stuff that these brothers is doing on the slide is going to cease to exist, dealing with the Amon Ra Squad, Team Osiris. And also I seen the brother up there that was from MBK. You ain't never seen it like this before, but you're going to get a chance to see it, for the most part. Like I said, we got brothers out here that got the information. We just steady climbing, and eventually once we get to that spot, then these brothers going to have to recognize what's going on out here and what the truth is, for the most part. Because them, they don't represent us, you know what I'm saying? The information that they bring is not a representation of us. We deal with basically overall with God's plan for man. Let's get on this topic, atheism. Atheism within itself. Man, if that's not so, I can't believe it. I'm dealing with this topic with these brothers, man, that's saying they're atheists, and this is the Greek term within itself. Just dealing with our people was never atheists. Ancient cultures was never atheists. If you can show me any ancient culture that did not sacrifice to a deity or divine one or ancestor, then maybe I'll be convinced. But I'm finding out that these brothers have taken on this atheist concept, and then when we look at it, where it comes from the philosophy age, dealing with the Grecian and Greco-Roman period, and also 16 in the 1800s. Very odd that these brothers would try to basically say that the ancestors was dealing with atheism, or that the ancestors did not sacrifice, or they was all the time dealing with the science, which we know they was, because they realized in order to get into the material or to understand the full material world, you had to understand what drove or what was behind, or the force behind material or nature. We talked about the dung beetle last week, since behind the material that formed and shaped the material with his mouth, and then pushed the dung and guided. The intelligence is the guiding process behind the dung. He guides that dung. And we see that even the ancient cultures was to preserve peace and balance and justice. So when we talk about intelligence, this driving the force of nature, or when they say, for instance, Mayat, a king is supposed to preserve Mayat, or balance, what is justice, what is order. That is his job. He's to preserve my yacht in his land, and he's also to preserve my yacht also in the underworld, so to speak, when he was to go over to that side. Now, what we see is just on when we did with the biblical text, order just as well, same thing, nothing different, same order. So we're gonna deal with this atheist thing and see where it's stemming from, see where it's coming from, because like I said, um, this thing didn't come about until now. So when I seen that these brothers was on this corner and they were speaking, in my mind I was thinking like, we just need the right person that's up there, because we got brothers that's up there, and we got Garfield trying to distract the brother from the real case of what's really going on. You know, coming with all these silly questions and grabbing the whole thing, and I just laughed at it because I said, it's only going to last for so long. Only going to last for so long. Because trust me, I will be in New York, and I'm going to be right there on them corners with you, brothers. With you, brothers. And it's going to be a glorious thing. Because a lot of stuff that you brothers is doing is going to get exposed real fast. You're talking to somebody that's dealing with it scientifically, dealing with it on a philosophical, biblical theology, also dabbling in some of the things that you brothers is dealing with that y'all afraid to bring out within the ancient cultures. I said we got Mikael Ben Israel in here. Let me get his mic, open him up.
Shalom, shalom. Grace and peace, brother G-Con.
Peace, 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 brother.
Peace, man. I like to say grace and peace. Shalom. I hope everybody having a nice, peaceful night tonight. All the listening audience. This is going to be a real nice conversation we're going to have. Let G-Con go in on it. And for my people that's listening overseas, I'd like to give a shout-out to my sister in Sierra Leone, Emil. I see you, Israel. Shalom, sister. She listening to us overseas right now, so this thing getting out there. And, yeah. For sure. And, so this is Mikael Ben Israel. Y'all know Hebrews in the Hood, Walls of Jericho. Sometime partial co-host with my brother in his beautiful show, Econ, Late Night Flight, Conscious Radio. And I just like to say, I didn't even know Garfield and did a video or whatever. I know they was out there. I didn't see it or whatever, so I'm glad I didn't from what you're saying, because I probably would have been and made a video. But, nah, I wouldn't react to it, though, even if it was that bad, because, they know who to pick on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like you said, it's we've been dealing with this since we've been in the truth, man. I got 20-plus years, and it's nothing nobody can throw at me to throw me off my square. The problem is, well, it's not so much the case with Hebrews, but for the most part, Bible believers, the problem is, the main problem I've always seen is they too busy being on the defensive. Because as Bible believers, if you go on the offensive, what you call the Bible thumper or a religious nut, or you're being judgmental. You see the games they play? This when you aggressive with proving God or that word. You know what I'm saying? Even if you bring evidence with it, scientific evidence, historical evidence, you're going to be considered some type of religious agenda. But when you're an atheist and you do it, you're just skeptical, or you just need proof, or you're just being logical. You see the game they play? That's why I say the devil has deceived the whole world. Although atheists are the minority of the planet, whether they like it or not, they are the minority. Most human beings have enough sense to know that there's something above them, a creator, something superior to them. So atheist is the minority. I'm just so shocked in the most spiritual ethnic group in America, without a doubt. You see it in any studies, is the quote unquote African American. And just to see how atheism is growing, it's not growing faster than like the Hebrew movement, roots movement, or anything like that, but it's growing too fast. And the way we see it growing from such a spiritual people is alarming. So they're becoming more aggressive. And it's almost cool now to become God yourself and not believe it's a God above you. See, and that's the trick. They'll tell you real quick that they don't believe in God, and then they'll turn around and say they are a God. And later on, man, when you give me that opportunity, I definitely like to touch on those key points. But go ahead, G-Con, and everybody man, call in. All right.
Exactly. So here it is, y'all. Let's get into it. Let's look up this word atheism. Atheism is, in a broad sense, the rejection of belief in the existence of deities. Now, underline deities and this rejection of belief in these deities. Because what we find odd is this, that when we look into all our ancient cultures, every one of them, what we find out is that these people believed in deities. They was not atheists at all. We're going to deal with that. Let's break down these other key words so we can understand. The rejection of belief, basically. Let's look what belief is. Belief is a state of mind in which a person thinks someone to be the case, with or without there being empirical evidence to prove that something is the case with factual certainty. In other words, belief is when someone thinks something is reality, true, when they have no absolute verified foundation for their certainty of the truth or realness of something. Another way of defining belief is the mental representation of an attitude positively oriented towards the likelihood of something being true. In the context of ancient Greek thought, two related concepts was identified with regards to the concept of belief. Pietas and doxa. Simplified, we may say that pietas refers to trust and confidence, while doxa refer to opinion and acceptance. The English word doxy is derived from doxa. Belief's purpose is to guide actions and not to indicate truth. So we see what belief is, right? Now we know that there are certain cultures, right? We know that there are certain cultures where the majority of cultures have belief, right? We know that they believe in their ancestors after dead, because we see the things that they do or prepare for the ancestors after dead and going to another life or ascending into another life, so to speak, right? We see that, right? Let's jump back now. Let's deal with, see, it says the rejection of belief in the existence of deities. In other words, if there's no evidence to substantiate a claim, then it is a belief, right? But understand this, just because there's no evidence does not make it a truth or something that is factual. In other words, you can't say that something basically is not true or due to the fact of you lack evidence. It's a possibility that the thing that you do not know or what you are trying to understand, there lies that thing that is belief. If you do not understand everything or you are trying to understand something, just like in this common view world, You got these brothers that deal with evolution and the process of evolution by way of natural selection, but none of these brothers can tell you the origin, the chemical, cosmic, tell you how do you get non-organic material turning into material, living material. So therefore, what you can't explain can lie, could possibly lie the answer of God or the Creator. See, they say that God is the answers and the gaps, basically, because we say, well, how is it that, we say that when we can't explain something, we say God is behind it. Well, they don't tell you why we say that, because there's more of an explanation on why we say that. We say that due to the fact of, because number one is I want you to go outside. You don't even have to go outside, but I'm just saying this. Look up into the sky. Look at the moon. Look at the stars. I want you to look at the heavenly bodies whenever you can. Look at the sun. Look at just creation within itself, and you will see that this is done by a intelligent designer. The moon being set where it's at and being a satellite to reflect the sun's power off of it to cause light on the earth is something that is greatness within itself. Because even when we seen that, we took the concept and said that we can make lights just as well and shine like the moon. Yes, we did. To where we can cause light to be in dark places, because we see there is providence by the moon and providence by the sun. So therefore, we see that we are intelligent designers. So we know whatever designed the moon or whatever brought forth the sun or the universe is providence. We got to stop playing games out here. Let's get off into it. The rejection of belief in the existence of deities, right? Let's see what deities is. In religious belief, understand this. Notice it says religious belief. I'm telling y'all now, hear me. There is not one culture, and if you can show me, please call in, because I know some of you brothers are listening in. You're always listening in. Always. Call in and give me that. Call in. Whatever atheist it is out there, call in, from the Real Black Atheist to any atheist is out there. You could be white, Asian, whatever you want to be. Call in and give me any ancient culture. Any ancient culture is sacrificed that did not sacrifice. I need you to do that.
Man, bro, I asked that 2 years ago, bro, and still ain't heard nothing from him.
See what I'm saying? 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Call in and give us that. Now, here's the thing. I want y'all to understand this. From a standpoint of historical observation, just think about it. Someone was close to that intelligent designer. How did I know that? You don't have to be a rocket scientist or a scientist in general to know that you yourself come from your parents, and your parents come from somebody, and their parents come from somebody, their parents come from somebody, their parents come from somebody, and you have to go all the way back to you. And somebody had relationships or was related or had a close relationship to the source. Because you know why? This source is causeless, and this source brought existence and cause and purpose. See, the concept of evolution by natural selection, an unguided process, gives you no purpose but the purpose of killing each other for survival. Think I'm lying? The purpose of animal-like instincts. I'm telling you, this is the age of technology to where one must gain technology in order to gain superiority over the next people. But in gaining technology is also decreasing something within this realm of this earth, because we know that technology itself plays a role. We know that technology itself plays a role to basically cause, plays a role in society, and it causes nature or cause effects within nature itself, the ripples of technology. See, if you're liquidating everything that you have access to within the earth, then what happens is you cause imbalance. This is what's happening. Just look it up. It's either a natural or supernatural being who is thought of as a holy, divine, and sacred. Thought of as holy, divine, and sacred. So this what a deity is. It's either a natural. See what I'm saying? This deity can either be a natural. You may deify your ancestor. He may be living, but you may deify him. He may be stronger, have more power than you over your community, have more knowledge and intelligence than you, and you may deify him. And even may make an idol of him, a statue of him, and deify the idol. So when he is not present, you have his idol present just as well. These are the things that they did, right? So watch this. Notice it says a religious belief, a deity, is either natural or supernatural. Now, supernatural, what does that mean? Let's look up that term real quick, because we're going to show you that what these brothers telling you that the ancestors did not do, they're lying. The term atheism, being an atheist, is actually something that is new. So if anybody is doing this, they are following Greek philosophy and New Age information, because it was not among the ancient cultures which have what you call historical observation. Watch this. Supernatural. It's going to get real interesting. So you have to break down these words, because when you break down these words, then you start realizing that these clowns are imposing on our ancestors white supremacy, and also, guess what? Westernized thought. That's what's going on, and they don't even realize. It says the supernatural, medieval Latin supernaturalis. Supra means above. Naturalis means nature or natural, right? Now, watch this. Watch this. Let me show you how to kill them real fast. Watch this. Supra means above, right? And naturalis means natural or nature. The word nature or natural. Let me show you how to kill them real fast. Now watch this. Let me finish this real quick. It says, is that which is not subject to the laws of physics, or more figuratively, that which is said to exist above and beyond nature. Let's look at nature. Let me show you how to break a devil down fast. Easy money. Easy money. In their own text, that's why they afraid. Sonetta, I'm telling you now, we coming, bruh. And when we come, your platform going to be on fire, because we going to cause pain within those brothers that's up there doing what they doing now and say that they got the information. Nature, in the broad sense, is natural. Remember, we just got through talking about that. Physical or material, world, or universe. Nature can refer to the phenomenon of the world and also to the life in general. The study of nature is a large part of science, right? We understand that. And remember, watch this. The word nature is derived from the Latin, which is neutral or essential qualities and that disposition, and in ancient times literally meant birth. Neutral is a Latin translation of the Greek word physics. Let's jump back real quick.
Oh,
Jump
man.
back to the other definition. So remember I gave that. I says above. Remember I said above naturalis or above nature, right? This word supra means to be above nature. Now watch this, because I watched this brother read his own text for me that dealt with Kepera, right? Now remember, what this is saying is that there is something that is above the material world, right? That is above the material world. In other words, it is not governed by the physics or the physical world, right? It's not governed by that. Now, let's deal with this. Let's go to it. Go back to the definition. Go back to the definition. It's going to get real. Where we at? All right. Let's go back to this definition. Yeah. All right. Supernatural. All right. So we see above naturalis or nature, basically. So what do we have here? We see that something exists outside of the material world. You know what that is, you guys? That's called conscious thought. See, this is why it is hard for you to excuse yourself when you have inside of you, embedded in you, a faculty of God or something that is an aspect of God. Man has become one of us to know good and evil. That is embedded in you, is what you call the conscience, right? So you have become a self-conscious being, and you have left a state of God consciousness, Adam, and went in a state of self-conscience, which is a aspect to determine the good and the evil, or have knowledge or experience the good and evil just as well, the ups and downs, right? So God himself has not experienced evil, but he has seen evil in rebels, or sin in rebels, which has caused much pain and much chaos. So watch this. Supra, above naturalis, natural or nature, is that which is not subject to the laws of physics, or more figuratively, that which is said to exist above and beyond the metaphysics. Meta means to be above or beyond the physical realm. Consideration of the existence of the supernatural can be difficult to approach as an exercise in philosophy or theology, because an dependency on its anti-theist, the thesis, the natural will ultimately have to be inverted or rejected, basically. So this is what we're saying. We're saying that we're not rejecting the material world, but we're telling you that outside of materialism is conscious thought. How do I know that? Because in the Bible, spirit man is housed in a material body. Mm, mm, mm. So if the material man is housed in a physical body or material body, then when he leaves his body, he exists as what you call conscious thought. He is aware outside of the body. So we see that. So we see that when one say supernatural or beyond the physical or material or nature, we see that even in the biblical paradigm, that man is conscious thought outside of the material realm. Now, here's another thing. Now, we see that Kepera is conscious thought that forms things from unformed matter. He arranges things. So even when we deal with the Pert M. Heru, guess what we see? We see that in the Pert M. Heru, we see that once that person leaves the body or the ha, the vessel that contains the essence, that he himself is still a conscious being and is subject to Mayat, which is what? Justice and order. And we see that his heart, or Ib, which is the soul of that person, because guess what? When he say, my heart hurts, or I feel for you, or I pain, that heart is that soul. What is the soul again? We talked about that yesterday. The soul is what? All passions, desires. It is the seat of your passions, desires, emotions, feelings, and all appetites. Get them, G-Con. Get them. So when you say that Africans, or when you say that ancient cultures did not believe in deities, right, or divine people or divine persons, then you have a problem. And the real black atheist, I see you. I see you. I'm going to open up your mic. Now I see you. So when you say that the ancient cultures, once again, did not deal with these things, sacrifices, worshiping of deities, rather of natural or spiritual, we see that supernatural or belief is something that is beyond the material realm. And what is beyond the material realm that arranges the material realm? Conscious thoughts. So therefore, we see when we talked about Kepera pushing the dung beetle, because this is the intelligence behind them, this pushing or bringing it in existence, this material, and forming and shaping it and arranging it. And then we also talk about just as well, once again, that you exist outside of the body, as the Bible has said, outside of the material body, you still exist as being conscious, and therefore we see that even good and evil is present there. And then also we see it also in African cosmology just as well, to where conscious thought exists outside of the arrangement of the material world. And then also we see that the universal aspect of Mayat is even seen in the Duat or Amduat, which is the underworld, which is after death, which is after you die, which is in the afterlife, basically. So we see that it is in that concept. So we're going to stop playing games. The term atheist comes from the Greco-Roman period, and our ancestors was not dealing with that. And then we got it brought into the 18th to the 1900s. So why do we try to take Western thought and put it on ancient cultures, knowing that these people was dealing with, guess what, deities, supernatural providence, or the conscious thought that was behind the material. They are the force behind the material, like the dung beetle is the force behind the dung, or the intelligence behind the dung, pushing it and shaping and forming the world view. Now let me get this mic, because we got that wants to get in here and cause some trouble, I guess, or either come in here the right way.
remember on what you said earlier about the
Oh
language.
yeah. Make sure you no cussing, man, allowed, because we got an audience listening in, man, from different places. So we got to make sure we not using foul language. Go ahead, though.
I'm just saying, Black African power and real Black atheism is on the rise, man. I don't even understand why it's so hard for y'all to get it, man. So if you hit me with, well, atheist is a Greek term, and I'll hit you with, well, God is a German term, deity, all of that. So then what does that put us at? That forces us to look at the cultures themselves, right, to determine what it was they were doing. So as long as you're in English trying to figure out the Perkin Hemru, you know what I'm saying, you're going to give an English understanding. You know what I'm saying? That's why, as you explain it, you make it seem as if, or it's kind of like the Hebrew doctrine and it's close to deity. That's because you're in English. You're talking about a group of people who were never monotheists, not none of them, because they wouldn't have understood what a monotheist was. Mono meaning one, theist, Greek. So they wouldn't have been under that neither. And so we need to start to understand what these African cultures was doing. One of the best explanations I heard was from John Jackson. John Jackson said that the Egyptians was natural atheists. And he said that. John Jackson is the teacher of, quote-unquote, John Henry Clark and Dr. Ben. And so here's one for you. Dr. Ben, he went to the Nile. He actually adopted a Nubian village. He was there for about 40 years. You understand that, right? 40 years he was there. And in 40 years in the Nile, he supposedly went to the land of the gods, right? Tarnetta. They say they mistranslate, they say land of the gods. It's really not. It's really land of the resources. He go there for 40 years, and he come back, and they say, well, Dr. Ben, do you believe in God? He say, no. Ain't none of us, I don't know what it said a cuss word now, I can't say it. None of us been to the Nile for 40 years. So in 40 years, this man goes to the Nile. He's one of the only persons that's actually initiated in the Egyptian, quote-unquote, college systems. I don't even want to say mystery because the Greeks called it that. But he's initiated into the actual Egyptian or Kemetic school. And he comes back and say he does not believe in God. So I'm saying, how is it that y'all who just reading books on the outskirts, reading the fragment from the peripheral, using European translations, how can you tell anybody that the quote-unquote Kemetans believed in God? Now, let's get this straight. Like every human being that walks the planet, we all have beliefs. I am telling you that I myself personally and no one living today has to be subject to anybody's beliefs, no matter what. So I can adorn my ancestors and honor them and love them and cherish them and put them on high, but that does not mean I have to believe what they believe. I'm in different circumstances. Because if I'm sure if they was raised up in Baltimore, Maryland, getting shot at once a month, getting locked up, getting subjected to racism, white supremacy, which they didn't have, I'm sure they would think the same way I was thinking. Being kidnapped, 500-600 years, Jim Crow, all these situations occurring, you would hear them probably say the same daggone thing. Being cultivated in other people's culture, in dramatic tribal cultures, civil rights movements, watching young babies getting shot down, and a crazy document being produced called the Bible or the Quran or the New Testament. I'm pretty sure they would look at y'all and say, I don't believe in that neither. So I'm just trying to figure out, man.
All right, well, let me ask you a couple of quick questions then so I can help you figure it out. Now,
I gotta say something too. I definitely got to say
hold on, let me hold on, let me say this real quick. I hear you, Mikael. I hear you. Let me say this to him real quick. Now you said, number one, let's deal with God, right? You said that our ancestors didn't believe. Okay, okay. We're gonna deal with that because Dr. Ben went 40 years, right?
Yep.
Right. He went 40 years, right? Stayed in the land in Egypt. What year was this?
Man,
Had to be
he
within what?
back in the 50s. Oh,
yes, 50s, yes, yeah. Ain't no God in the land. Ain't no God in the land. Well, let's look at God. Let's look at God first. Hold on, let's look at God so we can get to understanding to the people, right? Now, let's look at this. We're gonna deal with this. Now, the God within itself that you're dealing with. It says the earliest written form of the Germanic word God, always in this usage, capital, from the 6th century Christian Codex, right, or Gentius. The English word itself is derived from the Proto-Germanic, like you said, Germanic, like you said, God, right? The constructed Proto-Indo-European form, Gutam, was likely based on the root Gua, which meant either to call or to invoke. Do you understand that? To call or to invoke. Now, watch this. Hold fast. Let's look at the source, because I got a source there. The ulterior etymology is disputed as part from unlikely hypothesis of the adoption from a foreign tongue. The Otu Guba implies, as it is pre-tuitive, either Gudan or Gutam. The former does not appear, to admit our explanation, but the latter would represent the newt, I don't know what that word is, of a root gu. There are two Aryan roots of the required form, right? Watch this. The gu are with the aspirate, one with meaning to invoke, right? To invoke. Scan skirt, which is a scan skirt, which we also have the other to pour.
Sanskrit. Is it Sanskrit?
Yeah, Sanskrit. Yeah, Sanskrit.
Go ahead.
To pour. Yeah, to pour.
Wow.
To offer, sacrifice.
Yep.
So we have in this context to invoke, to call, offer, or sacrifice. So let me ask you this. Can you show me, as I stated before, any ancient culture that did not do these things right here, which is God, the root of it?
No, I like that. I'm with that. You pour out to deal with the spirit coming out of the imminent burial mound to pour out. So really, you're talking about sacrificing, right? You're talking about libation, to pour out libation. We know that starts out in the now. That's why you read the work of Sahutep. He talks about voodoo, right, in Africa, right? And it's talking about libations. And so I'm saying is, none of y'all on this phone is talking about libations, which starts in the middle now, or the lower now, right? No, the upper now, which is really the lower portion. That's what you're really talking about, and ain't nobody in America talking about that. No black Hebrew Israelites are talking about water and pouring out libations and sacrificing. No, y'all talking about the power, the creator of the
Well, I asked
cosmos.
you a question. Hold on. I asked you
I'm agreeing with you.
Question.
I agree with you on that question.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. When they sacrifice, right, and they invoked or called upon, because these are key words, who was they invoking and who was they calling upon and sacrificing to?
They was given who was depending on what culture you're talking about. I guess
every culture. Who was they invoking? Who was they sacrificing
I have no idea what they were. You had to ask them. You asked the Vikings. Who was they invoking? They was invoking their ancestors, man. I know the Africans were animists, so they was dealing with their ancestors. They was pouring out libations to their ancestors, invoking their name, keeping their name, like we say, Malcolm, Ashe. That's what they was doing. They was invoking. They was
well, let me ask you a question.
Keeping it live. Go ahead.
Now, let me ask you a question. And the Pert Heru, right? Now, you just said they was invoking their ancestors out your own mouth. You said it.
Yeah.
And the Pert Heru, do we see the essence of these people living outside of the Ha, which is the body? Do we see the essence of these people living outside of their vessel and being conscious in the Amduat?
Well, I don't even understand that question.
Listen,
y'all see who living
in the Pert Heru, when we're looking at the Papyrus of Ani, right? Yes, we're looking at the Papyrus of Ani. When we look at him and we see him going through these gates, also going through, coming into the Hall of Judgment, do we see this person's body and him existing outside of the body, the vessel, and his essence being taken into the very underworld, so is above, so is below, and do we see the principles of Mayat dealing with his conscience, as far as dealing with judgment?
And his soul is being judged, because he's in white.
Exactly.
I believe
you got
he
it.
is in white. He's in white.
You got
so
it.
It's really his spirit. It's really not. He's not a human being at this point. He's dead. He's dead.
Exactly. You got it.
And
he's conscious though. He's still awoke
judged.
after his body is and after his body is mummified, and he's what's called.
He's an Osiris at that point.
Sarcophagus. Yeah, he becomes the Osiris because the concept of judging.
But this is their belief though, bruh. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what they believe. Yo, they don't mean that shit true. That's what they believe.
Okay, well, you said it's not true
man,
on the side.
I'm saying
okay, you said on the side now. Okay, that's a belief.
Mm-hmm.
That's a belief,
yes,
right? Okay,
which is cool.
Okay, well, hold on. Let's deal with it on the scientific level then, right?
You can't do it.
Yes, we can. When you're dealing with the material world,
you can talk.
Now, you just said.
You can talk.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you why you say. You just said the scientists. Now, you just said the scientists have articles out now that said that there is intelligence within nature. Did not you say that?
No. I said the nature itself is intelligent.
Okay,
which makes
great. And you said, okay, now let me ask you a question. How did you come to that assumption?
Go ahead.
How'd you come to that conclusion?
Because I'm saying you'll see like evolutionary dead ends. Like things just go extinct, and that's for a reason. Then you'll see nature try something else. Right there, the very fact that you're trying something else shows that you have intelligence. Just like if you put a mouse inside of a labyrinth, it'll go in and won't, and you keep trying until it get out. That's intelligence, to keep trying, to keep making something that's more functional. And so we see that's exactly what nature does. As a matter of fact, the reason for the diversity on planet Earth is nature always remixes itself. How is it that eukaryotic cells, you know what I'm saying, start to divide and transform and start to form different things? Bacteria, you know what I'm saying? How does all that come to play? Because it's based off of just plain old sheer, it's intelligent itself. It just continues to transform and mutate into something that works. And when that dies, something else is diversifying itself. That's intelligence itself. But that doesn't mean an intelligent designer made that. That doesn't mean that at all.
Okay. Now hold on. Let me so the audience can hear this. Now watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Now you hear what he said. Now nature itself is an unguided process. It's something that is random. It's something that can happen. It's an unguided process. In other words, nature
is unguided.
What?
Who says
that? It's yes. You know why it's an unguided process? Because it's something that's random. In other words, when you look at nature, for instance, a storm or anything, an earthquake or anything does not come just always on the same time. It's something that is unguided. It's something that is random. In other words, in nature, even when you deal with weather,
are you sure?
Yes. Yes,
don't we have hurricanes
like
the same time every year?
Don't
we have hurricanes?
So is there going to be an ice age every so often, so many years at the same time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
see,
it is.
See, if you hold on. If you talk about ice age, right? Hold on. If you talk about ice age, that means you have to have precipitation. You have to have a cold, hot land and hot water and cold land, which causes precipitation, which will cause an ice age. That does not happen every so many of years, or every so often of millions of years. No, I'm telling you, bro. So hold on, let's talk scientifically, right? Now, y'all notice what he said.
No, you're
now,
talking about the second law. The temperature of the water. Listen,
hold on, listen,
you're talking about the temperature of the water, bro.
Hold on, listen. Let me say this real quick.
I hear what you're saying.
According to, as I know, according to the second law of thermodynamics. Now, remember what he said about nature, right? The second law of thermodynamics states that, number one, that states that the entropy of an isolated system always increases. And what is that telling us, and why is that important? That means that, number one, when you read the entirety of this definition, you look at it, it means that this earth is nothing gets better on its own. It always increases towards a downfall of degeneration. Basically, if there's no upkeeping of the earth, it's not going to get better. Or the universe, it won't get better at all.
What?
In other words,
what?
Okay, let's read it.
Read what?
Let's read it.
Trying to read?
The second law of thermodynamics.
You never heard of hurricane season? Hold on. You never heard of hurricane season, bro? That's a new idea to you.
Listen, let's read it.
Seriously, yo.
You
never heard that before you go into the law of dynamics.
You said far as hurricane patterns?
A hurricane season, man. Everybody knows the season for hurricanes, man.
Yeah, but that can change, though.
I'm not saying it can change. Okay, but it's still it's a pattern, though, man. In nature, there's patterns, reoccurrences. I'm not saying it's and based off of the earth, and so now there's a lot of carbon dioxide in the earth. And so what I'm telling you is the earth itself is self-generating, regenerating. It's just that now so much carbon dioxide and fossil fuels are being let off in the atmosphere that the earth will clean it all up. But it just takes so damn long now based off of the humans adding shit to it now. But yesterday it will. It'll fall down to the
earth. Wait, hold on. Let me say
oceans. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it real. So it will.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. It's like the body. He know and I know it's like the body. The body is only going to like for instance, when you break a bone, right? This is what he's not telling y'all. When you break a bone in your body, right? If I broke my pinky before, if I go to the doctors and they do an X-ray, you know how they can tell that I broke the pinky before? Because what happens is when it calcifies, when the bone resurfaces back, when the muscles and tissues resurface back on the bone, and the bone joins back together, it gets a knot on it. It gets bigger than what it used to be, and they could tell that you broke that bone before. Now, what he's not telling y'all is that not only is that cell is not going to replicate itself or replicate itself to the same cell that it was before, it's going to be a little bit more. It won't be the same cell. It won't be the same replication of the cell that caused it to repair itself, or the first cell before. Let me mention this. So I'm mentioning this for a reason. You cut me. So listen. What I'm saying is the Earth is only going to, according to second law of thermodynamics, it only repairs itself, replicates itself, or repairs or cycles itself a certain amount of times. It's like the body. The body is going to fix itself till it gets to a point to where when it gets old, your organs begin to, or different parts of your body begins to die out, basically, to where it can no longer repair itself. That's what we're talking about. The law of
read the what? You reading the what now? The law of thermal. Read that.
Okay, let me read it.
And how is you putting that with the earth? Yeah, read that.
Let's read that.
What? The earth only going to repair itself a certain amount of times. Then what's going to happen? LeRon, tell us.
It's going to degenerate. It's like your body. It's like your body.
Process? Hold on, whoa. How long is this going to be? Because you don't believe in millions of years. Yeah, because you definitely don't believe in millions and millions of years. So how long is it?
Well, let me bring this out real quick. I ain't no telling. I don't know, but it is just like your body.
Yeah,
you're
going to mix it, Matt. You're going to mix it. You're going to mix it, Matt.
Let's break this out. But listen, what I want the people to get out and learn is that there is conscious thought and intelligence that is behind the force of the material. Let's read it. It says the second law.
Go ahead.
The second law of thermodynamics and a natural thermodynamic process. The sum of the entropies of the interacting thermodynamic system increases. Equivalently, perpetual motion machines of the second kind are impossible, basically. In other words, when it says equivalently, perpetual motion machines of the second kind are impossible. Do you understand that?
Hell no, do you?
Yes, I understand.
No, I don't understand that. I don't understand. I need to read that shit. You chopped it up.
Let's
look at it.
Okay. Let's look it up. Watch this. Perpetual motion is motion of bodies that continues indefinitely. This is impossible. Watch this.
Okay. Right.
This is impossible because of friction and other energy dissipating processes, right?
Right.
Perpetual motion machine is a hypothetical machine that can do work indefinitely without an energy source. The kind of machine is impossible as it would violate the first or second law of thermodynamics. In other words, you need energy or a machine for the upkeeping of this earth, basically. That's what it's telling you.
No, that's not what it's saying. Are you serious, man? You know what? I'm going to let you down.
Okay, let's read it again. I'm going to read it again.
No,
let's read it again.
Watch
this what it says.
Man.
Hold on, watch this what it says. Because it's relating the energy, it's relating the earth as a machine, but it has to have energy behind it.
No, you saying it's saying that? No, it's saying the earth is mentioning that in that little thing you read, yo. That's what you trying to say?
Let's read it. Let's go back to the what's called again. The second law of thermodynamics and a natural thermodynamic process, the sum of the entropies of the interacting thermodynamic systems increases equivalently. Perpetual machines of second kind are impossible. You understand that? You want to go back to that again? Perpetual motion machines?
Yeah, but the earth is not a machine,
but look what it says. It says equivalently. In other words, basically what it's doing is it's putting it on. It's showing you that the earth itself is ran by a machine. I mean, it's ran by energy. It's ran by energy, right? In other words, in order to make radioactive
gravity and levity, you got.
Okay,
come
well,
on,
hold on.
Gravitational fields coming from the sun. Man, go ahead.
But listen,
go ahead, bro.
I understand that. But hold on. But another thing, the sun itself has to have. Guess what? The sun will die. See, stars die due to the fact of they don't have this. Guess what? Perpetual motion.
No, that's not why suns die.
The sun burns off of what, man?
The fusion, nuclear fusion.
Yep, right. Right. So let me ask you a question.
I'm saying,
what's the prize that
thermonuclear bombs is fission.
And hydrogen.
The core.
What's the prize?
The core itself. It's a reactor, man. It's like the reactor.
So let me ask you, how do stars die?
Let me finish. When it burns out all the available material inside the core of the sun, it gets hard. It starts to get solid. When it burns out and it runs out of energy, and it no longer can watch this. When the energy produced in the core of the sun can no longer withstand the energy being pushed on itself, it starts to implode and it turns solid. And I forget the name of the metal. You can read this in the book Star of Deep Beginnings, and it talks about this particular metal where 1 inch of it would be the heaviest goddamn thing on Earth. And I forget the goddamn name of the fucking metal that's in the core of suns. The core starts to get solid, right? And it goes, it turns to a white dwarf. You know what I'm saying? Then it becomes a white dwarf, and then it goes supernova and explodes. That's because the outer gravity pushing down on it is stronger than the forces just pushing out on it. That's because the material, just like the whole universe does the exact same thing. And we know this because it's moving faster. And this is because dark energy, right? It's burning itself out, and eventually all of the available fuel in the universe is going to burn out. Come on, bro.
So listen,
when the energy run out, I mean,
you just proved what I just said.
You talking about the Earth. Whoa. We're talking about the Earth right now. The Earth is going
let's talk
away.
About the Earth then. Hold on. Listen. Oh, bro, listen. The most of the radioactive
particles.
Hold on, listen, brother. Listen, hold on, brother. Most of the radioactive particles is in the Earth. Hold on. Most of the radioactive particles is in the Earth is in the crust. Would you agree to that?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Most of the radioactive, no, the whole thing.
See, that's what I listen.
The sun rays on the Earth is We already get radiation, man. That's why your skin is formed.
But hold on, no.
The whole planet is imparted by
Listen.
UVA rays.
Hold on, listen. In order to make a solid, you need energy. You just said it, right? You need energy.
To make a solid.
In other words, to make iron and all those type of things, you need energy, bro. From chemical base unto solid, you need energy, bro.
Man,
right?
you mixing up shit right now, yo? You crazy?
No, it's not mixing it up. It's not. You just don't see. Now I'm seeing that you don't understand.
Seasonal,
you just said
no, I do. Listen, we went from seasonal. Listen what you did. We went from hurricane season to dark matter, yo. Are you serious, man?
And
that's your reason for saying that things change on Earth. Is that what you? To get back to your point?
No.
You're moving the goalpost.
Okay. Let's cool. For those that are listening,
I'm still focused on the goalpost.
Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's move on because we do this all day long.
That the Earth is what? What are you saying? What? Get you back.
Okay, listen. Let me read this one more time to you again. I'm gonna read this one more time to you again. It says. Yeah, the law of thermo. Let's read it one more time so you can understand.
Yeah, what they got to do with the seasons, though, bro?
Okay, well we ain't gonna. Okay, well we'll just go back to the what's called that. We'll go back to the premise.
Yeah, you crazy as hell. You gonna confuse me.
All right. So reason why we're talking about the seasons. Reason why I brought this up is because even the seasons itself. See everything. For us, when we talk about UV rays, we talk about the ozone layer. The sun is what creates a lot
of types of rays,
everything.
Yo. But go ahead.
Exactly, and so it also affects our weather conditions just as well, and the ozone layer, the atmosphere. All of these plays a role. In our system just as well as what man is doing on this earth too. But for the most part, before man started doing anything on this earth, before they started making anything, we still know that the earth. Weather patterns was changing and getting different around here, and the Earth is degenerating according to the second law of thermodynamics. In other words, there is no machine, or there is not there is no supply of energy to keep the upkeeping of the Earth due to the fact of, and if there is, you're going to have to show me the supply source of where this energy coming from. Because when you say the sun,
right. Hold on,
the sun is,
I'm gonna do this for you. When you say the sun is what?
When you say the sun itself also dies and explodes just as well too, due to the fact of no upkeeping just as well.
Wait a minute, man. How old is the sun? You talking about billions of years, yo?
Well, they say the sun is dying. Did you know that?
Man, who said the sun is dying, man?
Scientists say the sun is dying.
When?
Yeah, they say a lot of stuff, man. But yeah, they do.
I'm just telling you, they say
that ain't the point.
I'm just saying they say the sun.
We have a young son. Yeah, you realize we have a young son?
But they saying I understand, but they saying that our sun is dying. I promise you.
In another 3 billion years. In another 3 billion years, yo. You funny, yo. Do you know how long
they even say sooner or later it's gonna be one of the sun what you call it, not the sun rays, the sun flares are gonna explode and it's gonna burn up.
Let's get some scope.
They say it's gonna be massive sun flares and it's gonna explode and burn up the Earth's atmosphere.
No.
That's what they say.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I know what LeBron's talking about.
I've
seen it on science.
Wait. Let's get some scope here for a minute. Humans only live about 70 years, bro. So it's hard for us to comprehend a planet that's 4.2 billion years old, a universe that's 7 billion years old. It's hard to comprehend Homo sapiens sapiens. Young, we're young at 194,000 years. But that's a long fucking time.
I'm not even. But you know what? If that was the case, if we had some real tangible evidence that the Earth was 4 million years old, no,
4 million. I didn't say that. I say 4 billion. I say 4
that's
billion.
even worse.
And I don't know how he got that. I don't know how he got that.
Hey, let me say something. I've been chilling. You ain't got to be scared, I ain't finna do you. Look, you're a pretty good guy, bro. Regardless of what people say about you, you're a pretty good guy. Now, look, right?
You ain't got to sugarcoat me talk. What?
Look,
you not got to sugarcoat me
man,
like you did Harry to talk, man.
No, we finna keep this.
You ain't got to
finna do this like some real brothers, man. Listen to this.
We talking about the second
law
law of thermal.
No, look, don't try to spin me off. That was you and LeRon conversation. Y'all can get back to that. I want to
change it.
No, it's similar. No, it's similar. I was gonna say it before you called in. See, I would have let you wait.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, look. Now look, right. This is the same, right. Now when y'all was talking earlier, here go my photographic memory again. You know how that works. LeRon asked you about the traditions of the ancestors. And you can be honest a lot of times, and that's what you were. You said, well, okay, that was their belief when he asked you about them sacrificing. And who was they sacrificing to? You said the ancestors. And then you said, okay, and LeRon said, okay, well, they worship ancestors. And you said, well, that was their belief. So according to that, one could say that, if you don't believe that, or you at least don't acknowledge or understand that, that would be considered ancestral disconnection, right? Because I'm looking at this and I'm sitting here thinking, it's like people that have priests, temples, statues. Look, this is science. This is observance, right? This is a form of observation. For real, this is a form of observation. If you go anywhere right now and you see people with priests, temples, statues, and images like this, you're going to say either they're religious, those are their God, or they're spiritual. They're spiritual. So if we look at ancient Kemet, Egypt had these exact same things. Over 2,000 gods near the end of the later dynasties. You know what I'm saying? Over 2,000 of what you would call gods, because we can't just get caught in semantics. There's no handicap on translation. So 2,000 gods, many sacrifice temples, and high priests. How can we not turn around in this new day without talking to one of them because they dead? And that's another thing, because if you worshiping your ancestors, then you have to believe it's a spiritual realm for them to be able to receive your sacrifices, because I know ain't nobody stupid enough to be talking to something that they know have absolutely no conscience. So if we can't talk to them, how can we now assume in today's time that those people were not thinking somewhat the exact same way we are today? That would be a total ancestral disconnection. So that was a question. You don't believe that?
I don't know what that was.
Okay, you could say it was a state, but let me read this. Because LeRon read it.
You just said.
No, I'm just gonna read this. No, don't look. I ain't even gonna beat you up. I was gonna read this.
You said it was a question.
Came up.
You said it was a question.
No, I'm just gonna read a definition. I'm reading a definition. It's 2 words, and then y'all can finish. This is a diagnosis that I came up with, bro. I'm not saying you got it. I ain't saying you got it, but people suffer. And we're going to look up 2 words. I'm going to look up spiritual. I'm going to look up spiritual. And it got about 8 meanings to it, but I just took like 3. So here we go. It's spiritual. It's of or relating to a person's spirit, or of relating to religion or religious belief. The next one says having similar values and ideas. Now here go another one. Relating to sacred matters. It says, and of relating to supernatural beings or phenomenon and tradition. So if someone can't recognize all of these things, which we still have them just like the ancestors had them, there's another definition that pops up. Here we go. Retardation. Retardation, listen to this. An abnormal slowness of thought or action. Slowness in development or progress, or able to perceive the obvious. So, I'm saying we have a diagnosis going on in the community, man, that's spread. And I believe it's called spiritual retardation. That's just, I just had to say that. And I'm going to let y'all finish arguing about the solar flare. And then I'm going to bring out something later if you let me. And we got some more callers on there, too. You need to be checking it out.
Man, that's ridiculous, man. It's crazy. Let's let's address something real fast, man. You keep applying ideas and concepts on the people that wouldn't have never known what the hell you was talking about, man. Yeah, and this is something you talking about 5,000 years ago, man. You talking about racism, white supremacy. You talking about a time period where white people didn't even exist. You talking about there's so many factors. And for you to actually say that Europeans got it right, man, they wouldn't know what you're talking about if you said to them, are you spiritual? They looked at you and laughed. You couldn't even say it, Hebrews. They'd look at you and laugh. They wouldn't have known what monotheism was. The Hebrews wouldn't have understood that. I ain't even going to Kemet. I'm saying in your own book that wasn't authored by King James, them people, those people of color, those brown Asiatics, those brown mixed people wouldn't understand what you was talking about right now.
So hold on, bro. Are you focused more on semantics and the origins and etymology of words? Because come on, you can't sit up here and seriously tell me. Hold on, you can't sit up here and seriously tell me that people that just because we're in this new day and age, that certain commonalities didn't stay the same. Now, come on, man. That's why these same scriptures tell us there's nothing new under the sun, brother. Look at this.
Not the truth. I don't care what he just read it.
If I want to use the Greek, the Germanic equivalent to God, I would say Allaham or Elohim in Hebrew. Okay, that's an equivalent. I'm showing you where you're wrong. That every nation, yes, it is. It's Allaham, brother, or Elohim. Now I notice which means mighty one or power one. That is the only thing they could translate it from. Now, if you look at also, we had spirit. Now the Greeks didn't really have a concept of spirit. The closest thing they could think of was ghosts. No, they could think of ghosts. But we had spirit. And spirit comes from the Hebrew, the ruach. It comes from ruach. Now, from the Hebrew, but I'm saying we believed in the ruach. That would be equivalent to spirit. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to tell you is meanings transcend time, brother. Meaning, you have to believe meanings transcend times. You can't think just because 200 years from now we won't have a form of the. Come on, you can't really believe that. You too smart for that, man.
Well, let me say this real quick.
The old French word, for soul, spirit. You don't know that though, right?
You say what's
French
the word?
word? Oui, monsieur. The damn French word, spirit.
And they go to show you that the Hebrews had an equivalent, and it's ruach.
No, whatever.
Come on, brother. Every nation on earth had a word for a shoe. If you don't believe every nation on earth had a word for a pair of shoes, come on, man, that would be crazy.
Every nation on earth ain't wearing no damn shoes. You crazy as hell.
But okay. Let's hold on. Let's say this. Every nation has a. Since he want to say this, every nation has a word for dealing when you talk about food or either ox or animals, basically. Because those are common tools or mutual tools. Hold on. Those are common. Exactly. Those are common. Those are common tools or common things that people use, and they traded amongst each other. You need food or animals or trade, so they use common tools, and that's how they build transliteration just as well. When you talk about proto-writing, in other words, if you don't understand each other, you better start writing something on the ground that look like what you're trying to trade with somebody. So these are proto-scripts and proto-writings that they was doing, and then before they start making transliteration through trade languages, building alphabets and also numerology, and also just as well as numerology, they put the vowel points in them. So you can build a trade language or a lingua franca, so people can trade and do those things amongst each other and understand each other. So these is what they was doing before. But I want to say this real quick. Now, what we discuss is once again, when you talk about atheism, right, or you talk about atheists in general, our ancestors, our ancestors, you know it. Whether you say they was dealing with,
don't know it.
I'm talking about what they wrote and what they gave us. what they wrote and what they gave us, if you look at their literature, they're talking about conscious thought outside of the body, outside of the material body. They're saying that the principle, even the souls above, souls below, the principle of Mayat that we see in other cultures, or the principle of Mayat exists outside of the body and in the body. Souls above, souls below. So you can't try to say that we're following the English translation when we look at the people who translated the things are saying the same thing.
That's a cop out, man.
Yo, I don't know. You just go ahead and say.
And when you talk about energy, now here's the thing. Here's the thing, y'all. When we talk about the second law of thermodynamics, and we talked about the second law of thermodynamics, right? See, what he's not explaining to y'all is this: where, and this is what scientists can't explain to you. Where did this energy come from in the beginning to cause the sun and the other solar systems to be fused by this energy and cause the solid cores from chemical to solids and also to organic material? You have to have some type of energy there. Where did this energy come from? See, he's not telling y'all
where
that.
it comes from. And you know, hold on, and you know?
Yeah, I know who it is. It's conscious thought.
Why do you know? Hold on, let me get this straight. Why do you know? Why do you know?
Because when you talk about Kepler, right? Hold on. Let's talk about Kepler. Let's talk about Kepler.
You know, no, we don't got to talk about Kepler. I'm saying you don't know. The Egyptians don't know. Nobody knows.
I got a historical observation.
Hey, G-Con, I did hear Aunt say he didn't know. I did hear Aunt say he didn't know what energy I know he said he didn't know, but I'm telling you this. Hold on. I know it came from God.
Hold on.
You break the law.
Hold on, let me ask you.
Break the law.
Hold on.
First law.
Hold on.
Why we talking?
Even if
has no beginning, has no end, LeBron. So how are you breaking that to get to this conversation? Go ahead.
Hold on, listen. That's what I'm telling you, bro. So listen, if I'm telling you, listen. Now watch it. Now he said the first law means that energy has no beginning or no end. Energy is always there, right? Now watch what he just said. You just put your foot in your mouth, and I'm going to show you why. Now, does a sun and will a sun die out?
Really, suns, when they die out, they explode and form other suns. You know that. Stop playing.
Hold on. No. Let's stop, bro. Now watch this.
No. They do.
Hold on. Whoa. Stop. Let's stop. He knows and I know that once, the sun dies due to the fact of it loses energy, right? Now watch this. Now, my question is to you once again. If it dies out and stuff are dying, that means because it is cut from the actual energy source. Now, I want to ask you once again, where is this? Hold on, listen. Look, for instance, we understand. Listen, this is like this light bulb. I'm looking at this light bulb.
You guess
the source of energy.
Nigga. You're not
listen.
Solid shit. You guessworking that. Show yourself.
No, I'm not guessworking. Listen. The source of this light bulb.
All right, where you reading that? Where you reading that?
Okay, listen.
Is it your own idea? Seriously.
Hold on, let's read this again. Watch this. It says,
wait. You gonna read it? Hold on, yo. You gonna read it again and come up with your own.
Hold on. It says thus. Hold on. I want the people to get this clearly so they can understand, because I want them to learn. It says the machine.
What do you want them to learn right now, yo?
Hold on. Let's read it. It says the machine which extract energy from finite sources will not operate indefinitely. Right? Now watch this, because they are driven. Hold on. Come on, I gotta read this to the people, bro. All right, so it says thus, machines which extract energy from finite sources will not operate indefinitely. It says because they are driven by the energy. Come on, man. Like, you keep talking and these people can't get this information, man.
They hear you saying machine, and we talking about the earth.
Okay, so listen. So let me finish the what's called. It says because they are driven by energy stored in the source, which eventually will be exhausted, right? It will be exhausted. It's going to die. So watch this. A common example is devices powered by ocean currents, whose energy is ultimately driven from the sun. Now watch what it says, key in, which itself will eventually burn out. Why? Well, let's continue on. Machines powered by more obscure sources have been... I'm reading this. I'm reading this.
It's
I'm reading it now to you.
Out?
Yeah, it says whose energy eventually derived from the sun, which itself will eventually burn out. I'm telling you
There's
this,
a reason for that, though. There's a reason for that, brother.
Because this is the second law. That's what I'm telling you. The body it's just like your body, bro. Your body is going to give out, bro. So what I'm telling you is the parts that's making your body to thrive, your kidneys and all of that, is going to expire itself, man, due to the fact of degeneration and the overload of mutations, bro. That's all aging is mutations upon the chromosomes, mitochondrial DNA, and also the Y chromosome, bro. That's it, bro. And it's self-expired due to the fact of degeneration and its mutation burn down. That's all it's doing, bro. Expired.
All right,
now watch this.
Yo, you crazy.
Hold on, Miguel, let me finish this.
Then you let my man come.
Miguel.
You gonna really confuse
Miguel, let me finish this, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
It says machines powered by more obscure sources have been proposed, but are subject to the same inescapable laws and will eventually wind down. So I'm telling you, bro, out of all you telling these people here, we're winding down, as the Bible says, and as other people say, because we are detached from the real energy
source. You went from the Bible to the laws of
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you why. Hold on, listen.
Are you kidding me, man?
Listen, so the people can understand there is energy out there. We know that it took energy to start the universe. We know that it took energy.
You mixed the
That's
first
what we
law,
do know.
You won't mix
hold on,
the first law.
Listen,
the thermodynamics, yo. Talk about that.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That means the energy always exists.
Crazy.
That means the energy always exists, right? Right?
Thank you. So if energy always exists, then how you gonna tell me then to sit there and tell about where it came from? Where it came from, it always was.
Exactly.
So if you want to get real slick with it, then energy
will
be your creator.
That sounds like God, bro.
But listen, but
can't be made no destroyed, then that must be the God.
Hold on.
That's God.
Listen,
right.
Hold on, let me say this.
Hebrew,
hold on, let me say.
Go ahead, bro.
Let me say this, bro.
Please get it out.
Now listen. Get it out. Now when we talk about energy, right? Now he knows that I know it takes energy to form, right? So when you look at when brothers is talking about Kepara, and it says that I existed, and I formed. It says I formed unformed matter. So what is it telling us? It's telling us that this. Hold on, listen, bro. Kepara is the energy behind the dung, right? He's forming this material with his mouth, right? Forms it. He's the force that's guiding this material. See, this is what they're not telling y'all. So listen, if he say he formed unformed matter, what is he telling us? He is the one who arranged basically the DNA. Exactly. He arranged the DNA. He arranged the language that we see that's in the universe, that's in every cell. So someone formed that, and that's the energy behind the dumb. He's the force behind the material and the arrangement of the material. So therefore, man, you can't escape it, bro. If something is dying, it's because it's hold on. If something is dying, it's because it's detached from the energy. Hold on, listen. If I unplug this light and it goes off, it's because it's detached from the energy, right, source. Now let me ask you this question. This is what man has done. Man know that they are detached from the energy source, so guess what they do? They try to go make a generator. They try to make a generator to keep it running.
You're fooling me, yo. You're fooling me.
Hey, look, right.
Stop it, man.
I'm saying.
You said all that to say that. All right, man. Go ahead.
Hey, look. You made a statement earlier. You said I can't let you slip out the back door, man, without hitting you.
I don't want to slip. I'm gonna go back to your spirit real quick.
Look, bro.
Can I talk after you?
No, I ain't gonna say nothing disrespectful, man. Why I gotta keep buttering you up, man? Look, this is what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying go ahead. I just want to be
okay.
Is that possible? I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna let you go in your range. Go ahead.
No, because you brought up a well-respected,
hold it down, man. Bona fide move. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah, I know you got to use the bathroom. I told you about them White Castle burgers, bro. Hey, but look, right? So look, you brought up Dr. Ben. Dr. Well respected. You know, rest his soul and rest his peace. Now, Dr. Ben, very highly respected. If it wasn't for him, you know, you probably wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. Now, you said when he went to Africa or to Egypt, and he's on the ground. He was really on the ground work for all those years. He said when he went there, he's asked a question about God, and he said he didn't see God. Right.
Yeah.
Now, on the contrary, in that same aspect, though, brother, I could say another man who's very well respected, Malcolm X. Now, he didn't go for 40 years, but the little time that he went, he came back and said he did see God, and he's seeing God in humanity. So, you could take that same approach. Now, I would say that the Malcolm X is the type of brother that I would fall in side by side in the war with, because he gave his life for this thing. And I'm saying Dr. Ben didn't sacrifice. He certainly did. But they just two different type of sacrifices for the same cause. That's my point. So you may be more on that approach, and I may be more on that approach. I see God. You don't see God. Now, this my thing. I can ask you. We can have a civilized conversation because I know you well studied. Around what year was the first form of the Old English King James Version written? This gonna relate to what we're talking about.
I thought it was in 1611. No. English King James Version?
Yeah. No, you were correct because I said the Old English, so you're correct. That's 1611. You're correct. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was 1611. Right.
Yeah, 1611.
Go ahead.
So
that's not the first.
You had you had the Latin Vulgate, Septuagint, and all that, but we talking about the Old English. So you're right. It's 1611. Now think about this. I just want you to honestly think about this. When you go to the Book of Genesis, first book, first chapter. That is, you already know how to say it, better sheet in Hebrew. When you go there, it talks about him creating the earth, or it's more of a recreation, which most people, we ain't going to get into that because that's a whole other story. Because he said it was without shape and void, right? And then he goes on to say that he separated the water in the firmament, the waters in the sky from the waters in the on the earth, the bottom of the firmament, the top of the firmament. Now watch this. I was watching, I'm pretty sure you're aware of this. I was watching the Science Channel. I read a couple of books, and I bumped into the exact same thing. And they was talking about how on the surface, on the outside of the earth, the atmosphere, I said around the ozone layer, they said that they found out that it's made up of gas particles and ice. Now, I know you know this. Small blocks of ice and gases. So this is what it makes up. Now, within those gases, guess what it has? H2O. H2O is water. Now, the reason I asked you when was this book written is because in 1611, besides telescopes, what technology did they have to be able to tell you that it was water up there, bro? Because think about it. To take a simple approach, when you look at the sky, and I know they got different scientific explanations for it, but just taking it simple, something simple like that to show how much ahead he is in our science is because when you look up at the sky in the daytime, that sky is blue. It's the exact same color as the waters in the daytime in the sea. And when it's nighttime, of course, the sky's jet black. It's the same if you ever been out in a boat in the middle of the sea, it's going to be the same color. And you would say, well, that's because it's reflecting off of the thing. But it don't take away from the fact that it's the waters below and the waters above. So I'm asking you, what would be your educated guess on how whoever the authors was of even the Old English version of this Bible, how would they know that it was water particles outside the Earth's atmosphere ozone layer?
God did it.
See, man, you saying that so there you go with that sarcasm, man. I told you we've been at peace, man. No, I want you to give me your regular.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to say it. After all you just said, I'm thinking only
you don't believe in God.
That. I ain't gotta believe in God, but God did that one.
If
you say he came up.
Well, I agree. I agree. Damn, man, you just took the air right out of my argument, man. I can't stand it. The people sitting here waiting on something, you done did that. I got to move on to something else.
Shit, you crazy, boy. Wow. That's the only thing I can think of at this point, yo. If you say it's there like that, then it would have to be the Hebrew God. The hell with the Roman God, the hell with the Chinese God, the hell with all them other gods.
So,
that one did it.
So, and I agree with you, but I already know.
Right, there you go.
When you get up with your squad, I'm a Rock squad, y'all have a show. It's gonna be something specifically trying to debunk that, and I'm gonna be mad, and I'm gonna be swinging at the TV. So I'm not watching nothing. Okay,
add that one. I'll let you work on that one, yo.
Okay.
That you say in the case. So show me in the Bible that it said it was made out of water. What is that? The atmosphere is made out of water. Show me that. Give me a head.
Oh, you go to Genesis chapter 1. You know your Bible.
Read that so I can make sure it's that. You ain't just saying it. You ain't just tricking me.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
This is a Bible show, yo. You got time.
Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. And the earth was without form and void.
Yes.
Darkness was upon the face of the darkness was upon the face of the deep. So we see we already got some deep right there, and then we can see what that deep is. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. So that deep is the water. So we already got water there to work with it. Ooh, and they go back to your science. I heard you say something one day about stuff coming from water. Now watch this. Yeah, I remember everything. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning was the first day. Okay, so you get that. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the water, and let it divide the water from the water. And God made the firmament, and it gets even more detailed, so you don't think that part was just it. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. So that's Genesis chapter 1, verse 6 and 7. So
what's the firmament? What's the firmament? What's that?
Well, you know, a lot of people say a lot of different things. I even hear some people say it's gravity, but I can't roll with that. I tell you.
You heard a lot of people say what? A lot of people say what?
A lot of people say a lot of different things. I've even heard some brothers trying to say equivalent it to gravity. I don't know how they did that one, but I'm not even saying
it's the ice. You saying it's the ice in the water. What you saying?
I'm saying the firmament. Yeah, the firmament is what divides it and holds it together. So if you want to say the ozone layer, layer and all of that.
The ozone layer.
No, I didn't say the firmament was the ozone layer. I said if you want to say that that's what it is, that's probably what you're going to say. I believe.
I ain't said it.
Oh, okay. Well, I believe the firmament.
What do you believe?
The firmament is exactly that. Whatever it is that divides, stops the water that's down here on the earth from spilling over, falling out, or the water that's up there from falling down. And you got new scientific terms for that. You would say layers, gravity, things of that nature. That's what it is. But it definitely exists, whatever it is, because, you know what I'm saying, it wouldn't be there.
So you saying that the firmament, as you saying, when you read in a science book, the science was saying that was the what? That was the atmosphere, right?
Well, the science would say the atmosphere, I believe.
And you saying that's the same, that firmament is equivalent to the atmosphere?
I'm saying that's one in the science. Yeah, I'm saying that's one in the science.
Okay.
So even with I know what you finna try to do. Don't try to be slick. Yeah, even with
I ain't trying to be slick tonight.
I've been watching you for long enough, dude.
I ain't trying to do that.
Even with changes in the atmosphere, it would still be able to hold it together. Because I know you try to come with something like that. Well, there's changes in the atmosphere, bro.
I'm gonna let you have that tonight, yo. You can win that. If you think that's firmament.
I don't like that type of. I don't want no victory like that because you just straight shut me down.
There ain't no victory.
Okay, so I got another. I got one with you. I got one for you though. I ain't gonna bring up the Reese's monkey. I'm gonna leave you alone on the monkey. And all
leave it on the monkey shit. Yeah, leave it on.
Okay,
shit anyway.
Okay, now
what?
See, this is what I like, that we have an intelligent audience. So sister inboxed me and said, "Well, does he know the difference between? Because this is her first time hearing you. Do you know the difference between intelligence in nature and intelligent design?" What's your answer to that?
Yeah, the intelligent design is started by some crazy white Christians, and they got defeated in the court system when they tried to put it up against science. So all that's been debunked. So anybody trying to use intelligent designer, right, is debunked. Started by a group of crazy white Christians. That's what intelligent design is. They started off as creationism, and now they tried to get slick and call it intelligent design, and they took it to court, right? Because they were trying to teach it in the school systems, and they put it up against modern science. Got beat all the way down. It's non-scientific. Now, intelligence in nature, modern science has come to the conclusion, which the Nile Valley Africans then came to the conclusion, that nature itself is intelligent. It's a difference, meaning there is no outside intelligence that pushes nature, that nature itself pushes itself. Remember that from an African perspective, there is no separation between that which creates the creator and humans. So we are an integral part of creation. As the woman creates, male and female come together and create, everything on the planet creates. Creation is still happening. There is no starting point to creation based off of the first law of thermodynamics. Energy can't be created nor destroyed. Yep, I do understand the difference.
Okay. Well, so I hope you're satisfied with that. I got some more questions coming in, but let me ask you my question. All right.
Go ahead.
Since you didn't got on here and turned to the Unk Show,
I ain't trying to turn to the Unk Show. We talking about atheism and why I think
it's a show about
atheism. Still
ain't
finished with that word. But wait a minute, we ain't dealt with the word ruach yet. The definition say ruach, Strong's number 87307. RUWACH, ruach. And that definition says that ruach is what I said it was: the wind, the breath, the mind, the spirit, the breath, the wind of heaven, quarter side, breath of air, gas, vein, empty thing, spirit, emanation. What's that? Vigor. Then it goes to C. Vigor, courage, temper, anger, impatience, patience, spirit, disposition, uncomfortability, uncontrollable impulse. You know, somebody got a bad spirit or something like that. Prophetic spirit. D says spirit of living, breathing, being in man and animals. I, it say as a gift preserved by God, God's spirit departing at death, disembodied being. E, spirit as seat, emotion, desire. Sower, trouble, spirit as a seat, origin, the organ of mental acts. I don't feel like I'm reading all that, but that's basically what it's saying. But the first definition they give you is wind, breath.
What y'all reading?
Okay.
That's spirit.
No, that was a good breakdown, good analysis, and I'm glad you read that.
Yeah.
Because
so you got to understand the Hebrew shit.
I do. I actually do perfectly. Now, see, actually, this was a perfect setup because, like, when you just broke down how people need to understand these things from an African perspective. Now, if you understand these things from a Hebraic thought, we say this all the time. Spirit, that's why we even have a lesson called the spirit in its many forms. So, the word spirit is in there, so it actually doesn't take away from anything I said. It validates it because when you look at spirit or the ruach in the Bible, it can go anywhere from the breath of life, which is say that God breathed the breath of life or the spirit into the nostrils of Adam. It can also even relate to alcohol. Alcohol can be a spirit. Actually, even mental illness, like or physical illness. When the woman had palsy, and Jesus healed the woman that had palsy, it said that she had spirit from her. So spirit comes in many forms, and yes, it is the wind. It's spirit in the elements also. So that word is interchangeable with a lot of things, and that's exactly cool because that's why when you read the scriptures, you can't always use spirit and say, well, this word spirit necessarily is dealing with something like your breath. In this aspect, it may be talking about a sickness. It may be talking about a condition. It may be talking about literally an entity. So you have spirit that is entity, spirit that is tangible, physical matter. You also have spirit that is, like you said, air or wind, an element. So yeah, so that don't that's the Hebraic thought. It transcends.
Hold on. Let me mention this real quick, real fast, so we can get some, so we don't misunderstand that just as well. Now, even when you deal with the elements, when you deal with nature has something that is personal does between themselves. So when we talk about individual spirits just as well, every individual spirit that's within them has a certain spark about themselves, a certain personality about themselves. They even have the forces that's behind the spirits, or the forces that are the spirits, or the nature that they call nature, that they had personalities about themselves, where you can distinctly tell what's what. So I just wanted to make that clear that there is the word spirit is there's a distinguishment between other spirits just as well. And it's something that's individually personal or characteristics about these certain things. Even when you deal with certain elements, or even when you deal with certain chemicals, just as well, there's something that is different from these certain things just as well. So I just wanted to get that out there, because when you talk about each one of us having a spirit or whatever the case may be, we all are not the same, even though we possess this energy, but our energy has what you call conscious thought and the personality behind it. Go ahead.
Oh, well, no, you can keep talking with Unc, because while you was gone, I don't know if you missed it, man, but he basically folded the tent on me, took the fight out of me, man. I asked him how did the writers of the Bible, even in the earliest forms of the KJV, because, he knew it was 1611, as far as English, not the Septuagint and not the Latin Vulgate or nothing. And I asked him, how was it that when God said he separated the waters, one above and one beneath, and then scientists are saying today that around the ozone layer, the atmosphere of the Earth, that it's made up of gases and ice and H2O. So I'm saying, how in the world would they know in the year 16 something, or if you really want to go older than that because it comes from an older text, how would they know that it was water up there? He just went on and said it was the Hebrew God. And he acted like he wasn't trying to be sarcastic. He said, well, on that one, it'll have to be the Hebrew God. But he going to get his guns together, and then he going to come back probably tomorrow or something and doodle on that thought. So I'm going to be getting ready for him tonight. So I'm going to go into my science book. But go ahead, Ron.
But for the most part,
the Hebrew God. The Hebrew book, the Hebrew God, man.
Yeah, but for the most part, I just want to say this: that when you talk about, even though we can bring up where atheism comes from, we can bring that stuff up.
Yeah, we know
where it comes from, and it's not just talking about the definition, but don't try to put that on our answers though, because that ain't the place,
bro. You can't do that. You can't let you
because they invoke. Because hold on. They invoke. They called upon and they sacrifice too. And you admitted that.
I sacrifice, I invoke, and I'm still a real black atheist. What's your point? That goes.
That's fine.
My point.
But hey, you're not a real black atheist then. That means
I am.
Because you're dealing with deities.
I don't think Unc really is an atheist, man. I think he say that.
Hold on, Mika. Hold on, bro. Hold on. You ain't dealing with deities.
You're an atheist too. LaRon.
Okay, well, let me ask you, bro. You dealing with deities?
LaRon.
You dealing with deities?
LaRon. I can deal with my mother, my father, my great grandmother. They sacred to me, bro. Yeah.
Nah, atheists don't deal with deities, though, bro. None of that.
Okay, but a real black atheist do. A real black atheist do. A natural atheist do. A cosmic atheist.
Well, hold on. Let me read.
I'm a real black atheist.
Hold on, let me read this real quick. It says atheist. Okay, that's cool. It says atheist. It says.
Well, you gotta come up with another word. You can't say atheist.
All right, man. It ain't no argument with that. He just got to start. He got to.
Yeah, man. He got us tonight, man. We can't just beat up on him. He got us.
That's why I started laughing, because when he said that, I just said, you know what? Don't worry about it.
He got me earlier when you was gone, man. I was ready to just whip his head off, and he just got me. I couldn't do nothing, man. People on the line listening, man.
Watch this. Hold on. Let me show y'all something. Let me read this to y'all. Check this out. Yeah, listen. Let's come to the it's called pre-Socratic philosophy.
Hold on, let me mute my mic.
Right? All right, we talking about pre-Socratic philosophy. Okay, the
Who was the author?
philosophy. Hold on. I'm gonna give you the reference.
Yeah, I'm gonna write it down. Let me see. Hold on.
Anarchimedes. All right.
Okay, Anarchimedes. Spell that for me.
Anaximenes.
Okay.
All right, look that up. All right.
I got you.
And it's dealing with the refutation of all heresies. Now watch this. It says the root of Western philosophy began in the Greek world in the 6th century BCE. It says the first. Hold on, let me get this out here. It says the first Hellenistic philosophers were not atheists, but they attempted to explain the world in terms of the processes of nature instead of by mythological accounts. Thus, lightning was a result of wind breaking out of a parting of the clouds, and earthquakes occurred when the earth is considerably altered by heating and cooling. The early philosophers often criticized traditional religious notions. It says, Anakheses, the 6th century BC, famously said that if cows and horses had hands, then horses would draw the form of gods like horses, and cows like horses, and cows like cows. See? It said another philosopher, Anaxagoras, 5th century, claimed that the sun was a fiery mass larger than Ptolemaios, and changed a charge of impiety was brought against him, and he was forced to flee Athens. So watch this. So these Greek philosophers wasn't even calling themselves atheists, but based off of the fact that they was trying to explain the world with natural phenomena, they named them that. They called them that. They called them atheists. Based off
These were
right,
and these was Greeks, right? These was Athenians. These was Greeks, right?
They in Athens though. They in Athens.
Yeah, Athenians.
But the point you got
right.
the Athenian government did that. So the question is, where did they study at? They all studied in Africa. Read the 3 books by Mark Bennell, Book 1, Book 2, Book 3. Read Stolen Legacy, right? We all know that the Greeks studied in Africa and Babylonia. Go to the
don't nobody take from that. Don't nobody take from that, though.
I'm trying to pull a slick one, though. I'm trying to pull a
slick
one,
though.
though.
I see what he's doing.
No, hold on. No, you don't see what he's doing. Hold on.
Cut me off.
Okay, hold on. Okay, go ahead, because
you've been slick all night.
Go ahead, though.
I'm not go ahead. I say it again. And I said it from day one, no Africans called themselves atheists. So we've been knew that the first goddamn video I made on that. So we got that straight. All right? Second point, that the only thing that made motherfuckers get called atheists, not because they was dumb, not because they was stupid, but because they wasn't buying the mythology in the country. They wasn't going with the state-sponsored religion. That's it.
They was anti-theist.
Right.
Anti-theist. Right.
Okay, so then
I understand all that.
Hold on. When it first started, it wasn't anti-Yahweh, nigga. It was atheists. So y'all on this phone is atheists. You're against theists. You're against the Greeks. You deal with Yahweh.
Okay,
so
but let me show you what we ain't gonna let you pull a slick one though. But let me show you what we ain't gonna let you pull a slick one.
Hold on. So you believe in theists?
Hold on.
We not anti-spirit. We not anti-spiritual though.
Real quick. Let me say this real quick, because let me say this. Now, number one is this.
I got him.
Did you hear him, LeRon?
Listen, first.
Did you hear what he just said, LeRon?
I heard him.
He said he's not. No, listen. Don't let him get away, LeRon. He said he is not anti-spiritual either. I want him to stick to that. So that means
Hold on. Let's deal with that, because you just said you're not anti-spiritual, right? Now, when you said that, what is your
for this moment? You say something crazy.
You've been saying spirit. You've been saying spirit basically deals with something about material.
Food, clothing, and shelter. Food, clothing, and shelter.
Now, watch this.
That's African spirituality.
You said that's African spirituality, right? Okay, now watch this.
The best word I
now
got.
you see how he
change the word. Change the word.
He just gave. Now listen, y'all. He just gave to y'all atheism its own little word, its own definition. So now listen. Now he's talking about African spirituality is food, clothing, and shelter. So let's deal with that. Now, once again, outside of your material body, outside of this material body, you do not exist consciously according to the African perspective.
You said what? Outside of what?
Outside of your material body, do you not consist consciously according to the African perspective?
I'm saying, and depending on what tribe you're talking about, what African you talking about. This African right here, based off of scientific method, says no, ain't nothing existing outside of your body. I'm an African. I have to build it.
Oh, man.
Hold on. Okay, what is is conscience? What is conscience then?
You said what?
What is conscience?
You went through the whole conscience. I don't know what the hell conscience is. To be aware.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Now listen. You say energy never dies scientifically, right?
No, that's energy. The first law of thermodynamics. You kept talking about the second law.
Okay, so listen. I understand. So you said energy never dies. So my question to you is, you are energy, right? Are you energy?
Yeah, that's right.
So are you conscious?
Yes, I am. The brain.
So are you telling me that? Okay, so listen. Hold on. Is energy?
I don't know about all that, LeBron. I know your brain.
Oh man, he missed it.
No, man, come on, dude. When your brain dies, when your brain cuts off, you're no longer conscious, bro. According to mind and science, man.
How is that? Conscious. Listen. So you telling me?
Listen, man. Your brain. Once your brain stops working, bro, you can no longer have thoughts, man. Stop it.
Wait, hold on. Oh no, Russ. Let's stop. Listen. So you telling me that what makes you feel? Hold on. Listen.
Huh?
Are you telling me what makes you listen? What makes you feel a certain type of way? What makes you love? What makes passion? What makes your desires feel a type of way? Is something that's basically dealing with just your brain and not outside of your brain, because the Egyptians took the brain and stuck it through the nose and threw it in the trash and kept the heart because they felt the heart deals with the emotions of a man.
Okay.
But you're not talking this from an African
but they was talking about
two
types of heart. They wasn't talking about nigga. It was two types of hearts. You don't know what you're talking about. They had one that pumped blood, and then one that they was talking some kind of I'm telling you, it was two hearts. I hope you understand this.
Okay, well, what about the brain?
Because
why you words for that? What I said about the brain?
You said they threw it away and sucked it out so it wouldn't rot and destroyed it. Okay, but I'm saying, okay, so what that got to do
hold on. Because they what they showed us from an African perspective, from what they were dealing with in their writings, the outside of the body, guess what? Order and also Mayat and also concepts of Isfef existed outside of the body. Souls above, souls below. So now you're trying to tell us something
what do you
different.
mean exist? No, what do you mean existed? I'm confused. What do you mean?
And it was outside of this body.
What's outside of the body? What do you mean?
Outside of the material body, outside of the heart of the vessel.
Okay. What about that? Outside of the body. What's outside of the body, Ron?
That's funny, too.
Listen, in the per head room, guess what? It's not Ani talking about the sarcophagus. I mean, it's not Ani seen being outside of the sarcophagus and being led through the gates and to the hall of judgment and conscience.
Yeah. It don't say nothing about
hold
consciousness, LeBron.
No. What I mean was he is awake. He's awake. He's alive.
He's not awake. He's dead, man.
Okay, I understand he's dead, but what I mean by awake is he's still.
Why are you saying that? Because he's dead, man.
That's funny too. That's funny too, because in the scriptures, the brain and the heart is synonymous too. A lot of times they interchangeable. But go ahead.
Listen, what I'm saying is this: is when you look at the perfect head rule, when we look at the judgment scene, when his heart is being weighed by truth and justice and balance by Mayat, the feather, right? We see that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we look at this, he is a conscious being. He is aware of what's taking place and what's happening. And the thought of the ancient Egyptian is showing us what's going on after death.
You said that, man.
Like it or not.
You said that, though, LeRon.
It's just like
soul, man.
You might as well just come
on. Hold on. Let me say this. And even if it was the case, it's still their belief, man. What is your point? You got people that didn't even believe that.
It's got all power, right?
Then you forget about the women got that process.
How do
they
you
had that money.
control that power?
You said what?
You got energy, you got power. How do you harness and control energy or power in the scientific world?
You mean how do you harness it? What are you talking about? How do you harness it?
If you got energy is something that can run rapidly, it can run at certain paces. How they control energy is put what you call a ground wire on it. Did you know that?
I'll get you grounded. Okay, that's period though. In your house, got ground wire.
What does that ground wire do?
It takes the surges and puts it back into the ground, away from the object. That's what it do.
And it controls that energy. It guides that energy, don't it?
Yeah, it guides the energy away from something.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Now, I'm telling you right now, everybody that's out here doing this wicked stuff and moral stuff is going to be guided away from. It's going to be guided right away from.
Yeah, you crazy as hell,
those that are doing what they need to be doing, man. I'm telling you that, man.
All right, man.
They call more.
Man.
I hope for the sake of mankind that happens, bro. But until then, we're going to be the mechanism to guide evil away from us. How about that? Let us all be a mechanism. You feel me?
But can you agree? Can you agree that it's something? If you want to call it energy, it is something much greater than the government to keep these things from going out of whack. Like he was talking about the energy to stop it from overloading and just going bananas. It has to be something put in place to just, keep things on a straight guideline. Like it got to be something. It got to be a conductor to this train, man.
I think the nature is a conductor, yo. I think we're all part of the operation of nature. We can even destroy the planet or help the planet.
The Africans didn't think that.
So you a pantheist then?
Behind nature.
So you a pantheist then?
A pantheist is a soft atheist. I hope you know that.
Oh, see, here you go with the atheist.
He's right.
Okay, well,
he's right. He's right, man. Listen, he's right. He's right. That's why when they be saying they pantheists, I be like, you still an atheist. It don't matter. You just a little bit. He's right. So let me ask you this. Now, the Africans didn't believe that way because they believed that there was forces and characteristics that was behind those natures that controlled those natures. They formed the material world. Like when you talk about Kepler, he said he formed unformed matter. So he arranged those things. So it's still a guided process. So when you look at it, even the African cosmology tells you about a guided process. You can't get away from it.
Oh, very interesting. What I would tell you is that you had thousands of papyrus along the Nile River, and I suggest you take a look at it. There's a couple good books on the subject matter. Ancient Egyptian
Bring me all up.
Volume 1, 2, and 3. And I mean, Africans widespread across the continent. They have a lot of different beliefs. I'm just trying to let y'all know that, right? But the base of what they was dealing with was food, clothing, and shelter. That's their base spirituality. This our probably early man. Remember, hold on, man. Remember,
I want to give an update about the show. The show. My bad.
Go ahead.
I guess we forgot. LeRon, sorry, bro, when you was gone. I guess we forgot to announce that they had to call in because they inboxed me saying they can't hear it. So I guess they were listening online. So I apologize.
How did I forget? You must have forgot. I was gone.
Yeah, he forgot.
That's why I said it. Yeah. But it's your show. It's your show. I ain't taking responsibility.
Come on, man. I left you charge, didn't I?
Yeah, quit.
Hey man, all right,
bro.
y'all finish talking. My bad. That was on me.
You be on this show every night with me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
He might as well be your co-host. He ain't got no else.
He is the co-host. He is the co-host anyway.
Oh, now you just gonna give me the. Oh, okay. Well, my bad. Okay, well I made a boo. I'm sorry. We had some people listening from Sierra Leone, man, and I'll make it up to you, bro. I apologize, but we'll make it up.
They probably couldn't call in. From Sierra Leone.
Hey, yeah, we're going to have to end this show because I see now people don't want to get to bed, man. I'm going to have to go lay it down, man, because my son, man, he ain't laying down unless I lay it down.
Yeah, man. Let's see. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, always thought-provoking conversation, man.
Yeah, very much so. And one of my missions, hey, and let me say, one of my missions for the year is over, man. It's the conversion, man. It's the conversion, brother.
Impossibility. It's impossible. You on the Bron don't agree on the same thing. You on the Bron don't agree on the same thing.
I know. But I'm a convert, bro. We can use you in the army, man. We can use you in the spiritual army, man.
To get LeBron.
Listen. I'm gonna be up to New York, man, in Atlanta this summertime. So I'm just letting y'all know I'm coming, man. You know, I'm coming.
Hey, LeBron, when you go to New York, I'll let Sarnetta know so you can go in and hit 125th Street and get your crack at it.
Don't sit on that couch, man. Don't sit on that couch.
Sarnetta heard you. Hey, Sarnetta tuned in tonight. He heard you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he tuned in.
Don't sit on that couch, man. It's a spell on that couch, man. They trying to trap you, man.
Oh, boy, you silly.
He'd be the first one on that couch you had a chance, wouldn't he, LeBron?
Now then, the day
you would tell the truth, man.
Hey, what you say? Who was that man with the perm? And I said, oh, the perm, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know he tried to get in on. He's talking about who was that Hebrew with a perm. I guess
that's it.
I was mad that night. He got mad. Yo, was mad. He cussed me out. I said, you drinking, yo.
I got you.
I called him sipping, LeBron. He was mad as hell. Yeah, man.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh, man.
Hey, you go look through my profile pictures. That's my natural hair, brother. I ain't got no damn perm.
Hey, man, I was laughing when he said that.
James Brown, sing it loud. That's James right there like that, yo.
All right, man. Hey, but you know what? But we gonna keep it positive. You keep it positive. But when I come to New York, I'm letting you know I'm gonna bring you a new hat so you can take that bent up ass army hat off. So if I see you with man, I don't want to see that hat, man. I know you're ready for war, but I'm sick of it, man.
That's why you be yelling like you be yelling, man. You ain't them Pete Pat.
What? Pete, what?
You was in the army. You was in the army for the military for real, wasn't you?
Yeah, y'all been a Marine Corps.
Yeah, you can tell.
That's why he be. Yeah, man, you can't tell. You like, oh man, this dude. This dude on the.
I was in that shit for real. That shit was dumb. I'm trying to tell y'all, nigga. Shit, dumb shit.
Yeah, man. So yeah, let me say this real quick. Let me say this now with the Cat Williams thing. I just want to bring this out.
That was funny.
Because yeah, but I want to bring this out because you know somebody else brought out another picture, another video of that thing though, right? Hold on for a minute. He didn't do what they say he did. That little dude was following him around. They got the whole video. And they said Media Takeout had already put the information out saying that this what this man was doing, but they got the whole video. And the whole video that the dudes took, he was playing soccer with the kids, man. And the black dude came up, the little youngster, and got to talking stuff to him. And told him get out of his face and go somewhere, little boy, this and that. And he wouldn't listen, man. So stole on him, and they got the scrambling. But he tried to slam him. Well, they got the scrambling or whatever, but he stole them. They got the whole footage on Facebook. I'm gonna send it to your inbox because when the media would put it out to you. If you look at the media, they put it out like if he came in there,
like Cat Williams lost his mind.
Yeah, they said he came in there and he was just acting crazy. Now that's not what happened, man. He came and played soccer with them for at least about an hour to 2 hour to 45 to an hour, man, and just playing soccer. When they was recording the whole thing, it was Mexicans, it was blacks, they all playing soccer.
Right.
Then the little dude was like, I thought you was funny, this and that, and got to talking all stuff to him or whatever, and then so he started saying something to him. Cat Williams was like, hey man, this and that, and talking about he got acne for life.